Have you ever walked past a small garage and noticed something strange? The sound of tools clinking, engines roaring, and mechanics yelling something indecipherable like, "Hand me that 12mm spanner." You might think, well, that's just another car workshop. But what if I told you that hidden behind all that grease and noise is a goldmine waiting for someone smart enough to dig it out, even if you start with nothing in your pocket? Yes, you heard me right. Today, we are talking about one of the most underrated, least explored, but extremely high-potential business ideas in Europe, a spare parts business near a garage. And here's the magical twist. You can start this business with $0, just your brain, your contacts, and your consistency. Let's begin this story not with business jargon but with a scenario that might sound familiar. Picture yourself walking down a street in Milan, or maybe in the outskirts of Paris. You see a line of car repair garages crammed into a narrow lane. Each one is buzzing with mechanics, customers, and cars waiting their turn. Engines are open. Tires are stacked. The smell of oil is everywhere. But have you ever noticed that while garages get most of the money for labor, there's another invisible player quietly making consistent cash, day after day? That's the person who supplies spare parts. Now, wait a moment before you tune this out and think, but I don't know anything about car parts. Because that's exactly where the opportunity lies. You don't have to be a mechanic. You just have to understand supply and demand, and be brave enough to connect two sides of a market that are always hungry for each other. Let's break this down. When a car comes to a garage, the mechanic diagnoses the issue. Maybe it's a worn-out brake pad, a cracked mirror, or a faulty alternator. But most garages don't stock these parts in bulk. Why? Because spare parts need space, they expire, they vary by car model, and keeping inventory is expensive. Many garages prefer to fix cars, not become warehouses. That's where your opportunity sneaks in like a quiet businessman in clean clothes walking past oil stains and chaos. You become the supplier, the bridge between wholesalers and garages. And trust me, bridges make money every time someone crosses over. Now you may be thinking, but how can I start this with $0? Isn't every retail business dependent on stock? Great question. Let me explain through a relatable story. There's a young man named Lucas. He lives in Warsaw, Poland. Lucas loves cars but doesn't own one yet. Every morning, he walks past 3 garages to catch his bus. One day, while waiting, he overhears a mechanic complaining loudly. The customer's angry because the spare part hasn't arrived. The words struck Lucas like lightning. He thought to himself, if there's so much demand for spare parts, someone could make real money just ensuring those parts arrive on time. That night, he Googled local car part suppliers. Then he called 2 of them the next day, posed confidently as a business representative, and said, "I can bring you regular garage clients if you give me partnership prices." Guess what? Both said yes. Why wouldn't they? He was offering free customers. By day 3, Lucas walked into one of the garages, introduced himself, and said, "If you ever need parts urgently, I can help you get them at wholesale prices, same-day delivery." The mechanic tested him once. He requested a specific clutch kit. Lucas quickly called his supplier, got the part, marked his price up by $10, and delivered it the same afternoon. That $10 became his first profit, without ever touching grease or buying stock. From then on, each garage started calling Lucas whenever they needed a part. Over the next few months, Lucas built relationships with multiple garages and parts dealers. Within 6 months, he was making close to $2,000 a month, purely as a middleman. He started with nothing but courage, a SIM card, and Google search. Now that's the heart of this idea. It's not a huge capital-intensive setup. It's about being resourceful. When people say start with 0, they usually mean start small. But with this business, you can literally start without investing a cent, only your time, knowledge, and negotiation skills. Let's go step by step and make it practical. Step 1. Surround yourself with opportunity. If you live near an area with garages, that's prime territory. If not, go online. Find local listings for workshops. Even a cluster of 5 garages is enough. Mechanics are not your competition. They're your future partners. Step 2. Research which car makes a most common in your area. In Germany, it might be Volkswagen, Audi, or Mercedes-Benz. In Spain, perhaps Seat and Renault. In the UK, maybe Ford or Vauxhall. The idea is to know what parts move fast. Things like brakes, filters, spark plugs, headlights, these are always in demand. Step 3. Build supplier relationships. Reach out to auto part wholesalers or online sellers who already have inventory. Tell them you're starting a local delivery network for garages and you want bulk pricing. You don't need a legal company name immediately. Just start as a connector. Step 4. Offer convenience. Mechanics hate waiting. If you can ensure quick response times, even without owning the parts, you'll win loyalty. Speed is your biggest product. Communicate clearly. If they call you, they get their part fast. Charge a small margin, maybe $10 to $15 per transaction. Think of it like being a local Amazon, but for garages. And here's where it gets even more interesting. As your reputation grows, you won't just serve one garage, you'll serve 10. Then 20. Eventually, those garages will start recommending you. You'll probably have a WhatsApp group with regular clients saying things like, "Hey, Amelia, got a blower motor for a Golf 7. That's recurring income. Your network becomes your warehouse. Your phone becomes your shop. Now, let's talk about scaling. Once you're confident and making consistent profits, you can invest part of that money to buy fast-moving items in advance. For example, if brake pads for Volkswagen Polo sell like fresh bread every week, keep some stock. The rest can stay as on-demand orders. Also, look into partnerships with logistics couriers who deliver same day. Even a small electric scooter delivery system in crowded cities can turn speed into your brand identity. Imagine a catchy tagline, "Brakes today, no delays." See what I did there? Marketing should be playful. People remember fun brands. Now, let me share another story about a woman named Sophia from Lisbon. Sophia wasn't from a business background. She worked as a receptionist at a small hotel. But the pandemic changed things, and she lost her job. One afternoon, her cousin, a car mechanic, told her he wastes hours every week waiting for spare parts to arrive from distant suppliers. That night, Sophia decided to test something. The next day, she called a few suppliers around town, asked for wholesale catalogs, and began comparing prices. She created a small spreadsheet, because spreadsheets are secretly every entrepreneur's first weapon. Whenever her cousin needed a part, she would source it for him using her contacts, charge a small commission, and handle the delivery. Within months, word spread. Other mechanics called her, saying, "You're the girl who brings parts faster than lightning, right?" Within a year, she had registered her business officially, named it Swift Auto Parts, and hired 2 delivery boys. Today she earns more than her old hotel salary, and, as she says, "I don't even get oil on my hands." That's the beauty of entrepreneurship, turning problems into products. Now, some of you might worry about competition. But here's the secret. This market is huge and fragmented. Demand will never run out because cars will always break down. Even when electric vehicles become more common, they'll still need parts, just different ones. What differentiates you is trust and speed. When a garage owner trusts that you deliver within hours, they won't compare prices every time. They'll call you because peace of mind is worth more than a few dollars. If you're thinking, "But I don't know how to deal with suppliers or garages," start learning conversational confidence. This business is relationship-driven, not certificate-driven. Practice your pitch. It could sound like this. "Hi, I'm building a quick parts network for local garages. You don't pay me anything upfront. I just connect you with the right parts faster. You save time, your customers are happier." That's it. Honest, clear, and confident. Remember, even the biggest companies today began as someone's side hustle. Amazon started with books. Airbnb started with air mattresses. Who says you can't start with brake pads? Here's where it becomes even more strategic. After a few months, when you've built consistent partnerships, negotiate volume discounts. You can even provide garages with written lists, like weekly parts availability updates. That feels professional and builds loyalty. Once you're established, expand your niche. Include motorcycle parts, truck parts, or accessories like wipers, oils, or LED headlights. And yes, add a sprinkle of digital touch. Create a simple website or even an Instagram page showing that you're the fastest, most reliable parts provider in your area. A few casual videos like "We deliver parts in 2 hours" can make your local brand look global. Now let's talk about profit math, because let's face it, motivation tastes better when served with numbers. Assume you handle 10 parts orders per day, with an average markup of $10. That's $100 daily, or $3,000 monthly. And you still haven't rented an office or kept physical stock. Once you start keeping inventory and delivering 30 to 40 orders a day, you could scale up to $10,000 monthly. How many businesses let you start at zero and grow toward 5 figures? Not many. But before you jump in, let's be honest, every business has challenges. You might deal with garages that delay payments, suppliers who take longer than they promise, or, occasionally, parts that arrive defective. But these are not disasters, they're learning curves. Every time something goes wrong, treat it as tuition fees for the real-world university of entrepreneurship. When you solve small problems fast, people remember. Your calm handling of chaos becomes your signature trait. That's how your reputation and income compounds. Let's now briefly talk about perception. Most people look at car garages and see noise. Entrepreneurs see an ecosystem. Think of it like a busy beehive. Every buzz you hear is money moving around. Garages pay for labor, customers pay for repairs, suppliers deliver goods, and if you position yourself right between those flows, you don't need to lift a wrench. You simply channel the value like a pipe channels water. And if someone says, "But isn't it too simple?" Smile politely, because simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. In fact, the best business models are the ones your grandmother could understand. Now, for a touch of humor. Imagine telling your friends at dinner, "Yeah, I sell car parts, but I don't own a single nut or bolt." They'll stare for a second, confused, then lean in. "Wait, how does that even work?" You'll reply, grinning, "That's the beauty of it. I sell solutions, not metal." Congratulations, you've just turned ordinary into extraordinary. Once your income grows, this business naturally opens doors to more opportunities. You can start a mobile app for local garages to order parts directly. You can open your own small warehouse later to handle frequent requests. You can even collaborate with auto repair influencers in your city to market your brand. But remember, the first step is not glamorous. It's about walking into one garage and saying hello with confidence. Every business empire begins with a single introduction. By now, you're probably realizing that money doesn't always hide in complex startups or high-tech apps. Sometimes it's right in your neighborhood, in the sound of a wrench turning and the smell of engine oil. You just have to listen, notice the gaps, and fill them one deal at a time. And if you've ever doubted whether financial freedom is possible without huge savings, let this be your sign. You don't need a silver spoon, just a smart plan and persistence. The world loves people who solve problems. And garages always have plenty of them. So here's your challenge. Next time you pass by a garage, don't just admire the cars. Start observing what parts are lying around, what mechanics complain about, what suppliers fail to deliver on time. Every complaint is your next income stream. Because where others see inconvenience, an entrepreneur sees opportunity. As we wrap up this conversation, remember this. Money doesn't only flow toward those with huge capital. It flows toward those who make life easier for others. Think like a helper, act like a connector, and earn like a boss. Whether you're in Berlin, Barcelona, or Brussels, someone out there right now needs a car part, and you could be the person who delivers it. That's not just business. That's entrepreneurship at its purest form. So take that first small step. Make that first call. The road to financial freedom might not begin in a fancy office. Sometimes, it starts near a garage. Thank you for tuning in to Dollar Mind Tricks, where small ideas turn into big incomes. Because sometimes, all it takes to start a powerful business isn't money, it's mindset. Now go build yours.
What if the secret to making more money has always been out there, just hidden from you? At Dollar Mind Tricks on Patreon, we share simple, proven pro tricks to boost your income, smart online business ideas, and real strategies that successful people use every day, but rarely talk about. No fluff, no complicated theory, just practical pro tricks and methods that actually work. Join Dollar Mind Tricks on Patreon today and start your journey to real financial freedom.